They have a whole new tendency. So I wanted to start with a question. And the question relates to the gestalt of what we're talking about for the high holidays. So in the prayer that we're going to start with, Avinu Malkeinu. What is Avinu Malkeinu? What does Avinu mean? Anybody? Avinu of
fathers.
Father. Well, Avinu, new on the end, means our. Hey, I love that picture. Ah, Mademoiselle Friedman, lovely to see you. Hey, Elaine. Okay, so new on the end means us or our. New. So when you have a noun, person, place, or thing, and you stick new on the end, that suffix means our. So Av is father, and Avinu is our father. So the name of the prayer is Avinu, and Malkeinu, what does that mean? So Avinu is our father. What's Malkeinu? What is Melech?
It's king.
King. And Avinu, who's king? Our king. So they got it covered. Our father, our king. This was haunting me a little bit today. I was thinking about this. You know, one of the prayers that when I was in elementary school, it was public school, I remember having assembly like every Wednesday. We had to wear a white blouse and a blue skirt and I think a red tie. And they had, the principal would read a portion of scriptures. And then they also did the Our Father prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, and so forth. And that's how I learned it by going to public school every week. I kept hearing that. Now you can't do that because the separation of state and church, and you don't have, you know, religious practice in an elementary school, which is funded by public funds. However, I was thinking to ask you, I have two questions to ask. One, what words do you have more of a connection to, our father or our king? Hannah, I'm going to start with you. What do you think?
I like our father better.
Why? Why does that resonate more than our king?
Well, I didn't grow up in a monarchy, so the concept.
You're funny.
The concept of monarchy doesn't resonate with me. Father is more personal, gives me a better connection, you know, a more human connection, even though it's a higher power. So.
Yeah, and king is a little more formal feeling, a little more distant, a little more like you might be frightened to appear in front of a queen or a king, you know, because they're so powerful. Even though it's a king in heaven, our prayers say, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu, Melech Haolam, King of the universe. And that to me is a little more distant. I never really thought about it before.
I'm on my Hebrew class.
And in Christianity, they have that Our Father prayer, very important. And when you talk to a priest, it's father, and in Spanish, it's padre. So that is, you know, when we speak to someone, it's rabbi, which means teacher, but Christians say father. Father, I have sinned, or Father, I need help, in their prayers. And then there's also the cult of Mary, which is the mother image. Now, I don't know about you girls, but I've never prayed to Sarah, Rachel, Rebecca, Leah, Esther. Have you? Has anybody?
We don't have saints like that.
Well, we have matriarchs, but not
Yes.
saints.
Saints.
Yes, Mary is
Right.
the son of the mother of God, but we.
Well, we have added the matriarchs, the
Yes,
prayer.
in the
So,
prayer.
I certainly haven't. I may
But
think
you know
about
what the words,
now.
Hannah, the words say Elohe, Sarah, Elohe,
Sarah,
Rivka, Elohe, Rachel,
right.
Elohe, Leah.
Right.
The God of Sarah,
Right.
And in the patriarchs, it says, Elohei Abraham, Elohei, Yitzhak. So they made it equal, but it doesn't have a prominence like the Mary cult with
Oh,
Catholics.
absolutely not.
Not at all. So that mother and father image is not something that I feel connected to in Judaism. Like a father and a mother. I don't feel that. I feel it's a little above me, a little unknown to me, a little further from me than that just seems very intimate. Father, instead of rabbi, I don't know. Anyway, I was just thinking about that. Here's the question for today. In the prayer, we're going to study the middle part, which talks about, it says, kadvenu. That means inscribe us, write us. And we have a big book, Sefer Chaim, the book of life. And we are asking God at Rosh Hashanah to inscribe us in the book of life. And on Yom Kippur, the word changes to chatmenu. Chatmenu means seal us. So the book is closed. Actually, people don't really, it's closed at the end of Shmini Atzeret, but Hamevin, those who know, but she could still squeak in there after Yom Kippur. But we're asking God to inscribe us, write our names in this book of life. So here's my question. What do you wish to be inscribed for in the book of life this year? And I'm just going to go down the row and ask quickly. Okay, Sylvia.
After the year that we've been through with COVID, I would like to be inscribed for good health for myself and those I care about.
Okay, great. Faye, what about you?
Well, same thing, yeah. Especially as Lenin said, what we went through with all this difficulty, just be, social distance and always be worried about, wearing masks and all this, worry about your health and others. And yeah, I think that would be, I would be say same thing, the health, to be
Good.
healthy.
Because as we attend the high holiday services, and I was on the board, we are discussing mask, no mask, people who are not vaccinated. Will there be an outside service? So we're going to see a visual right in our face about that issue. It's going to be on both sides of us on the bench where we're sitting. Okay, we're still not going to be completely rid of that. Charlene, what about you? What are you
I'm the
going to
same
wish
way.
for?
I believe health is critical right now with so many people. And in my circle of friends, I have several people who are in the hospital with non-COVID related things. And it's just, I just feel that that's something we need to pray for.
Good. Okay. All right. Elaine, what about you?
I have so many things running through my mind. I don't know where to begin.
Well, begin somewhere. Jump
Health definitely, but mental health as well. Positive thinking, socialization. I want a lot more socialization than I've had this past year, and strength, and
Good things.
and family. I mean, I could go on and on, but I guess that's the top of the list.
When
Family.
somebody has an aliyah, what you touched on, strength, they say to them, Yasher koach, koyach, koach, strength. Okay, may you increase in strength. In other words, in Torah knowledge, that's what they mean, in strength of knowledge and understanding. Okay, Robin?
Karen,
Yes, Hannah?
a quick question, as long as you bring up the koach. And can you give us the rundown of the male, female, and plural? Of
In
koach?
what?
Yasha koach is a
Oh,
male.
yeah, okay. Yasher koach, kochech,
Kochech.
kochech.
Kochech. And there's a plural, Yasha kochachem?
I guess that would be right. Kochachem. Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. That sounds right. But to tell you honestly, when I'm speaking to somebody, a female who had an aliyah, I would say Yasher koach. I don't usually even think of kochech. But some people who are finicky
They,
about grammar.
they
mistakes.
do in our synagogue. I've heard the different ones. That's why I,
Yeah, go ahead.
so since the rabbi will,
Yeah,
you know, wish the group, the chazan and etc. So that's,
good question. This is good. Okay,
Thank you.
Robin, sure. What are you going to wish to be inscribed for?
I think obviously health has to be number one, especially after this year. But I think because we were so isolated, so many of us, I think I would like to be inscribed as a kind and thoughtful person to others.
That's very beautiful. Thank you, Robin. Ella?
Well, that when you said inscribed in the book of life, it hit me between the eyes because I have a friend in Birmingham whose husband was visiting his brother in that building that collapsed. And
Oh,
she's
no.
down there,
Oh,
and it's just been hard on all of us because he's a really nice man. But anyway, so
Oh,
that kind of
terrible. Oh,
hit me. But I do agree with Robin and Elaine, you know, with all the things that we need to be, that need to be inscribed in that book of life.
All right, thank you. I hope they hear from that friend.
Well, there,
I've been feeling very, very upset about that, very upset. All right. I'm sorry, really. Marcia, what's your thought on being inscribed in the book of life?
Well, I have to agree with everyone about health and getting out to be with people. And for me, I've been away from my family for a long time now. My son is not vaccinated yet. And I mean, my grown son. And my other son lives in Australia. So of course I don't get to see him.
Yeah.
But I think for next year, my goal and my prayer is that Hashem can help me to be with as many people as I can and share my self with as many people as I can, and the teachings that he has given me, to share me. That's what I want to do.
I think that's very beautiful. All right, I think I got everybody, and okay. Well, I agree with all of you. And the first thing that I put on my list, I thought about it and I put health. And then I wanted to be inscribed as a doer of mitzvot, that I would be able to do good deeds for my friends and family. And then on the opposite coin, I thought, oh, well, if we're talking to God, I want God to have compassion towards me for any misdeeds, any feelings I might have ruffled, people I might have hurt with deed or word, and any of my bad intentions towards people. I wanted that clean slate on that. So that's what I was hoping for. All right, so now,
I think we have to remember with all these things that we want to make a real effort to do it.
accomplish them. Yeah,
I
it's not gonna happen by magic.
I want to excuse myself for a minute. My doorbell had
Okay.
rung. And the reason was, I think I had mentioned before that I started a newsletter where I live. I live where there are 120 condominiums. And I started it almost a year ago during the pandemic. And the man that I do it with just delivered the latest version to me. And that has helped with everybody's. Here's, I don't know whether you can see this.
oh, look
Oh.
at that.
It's
Power
4
talk.
pages.
And you
look
write
at,
that?
Look at the last page. We put a puzzle on the last page each time. This is pictures of us when we were children.
Oh, how
pictures
cute.
now.
I love it.
So you can, and then inside are an interview and jokes and facts.
Nice.
Very nice.
And
That takes a lot of energy.
And when he handed it to me and we were talking about what we were talking about, I looked at the before, well, the early and later pictures, and I thought, boy, a lot of things have happened in those years.
Yeah. All
That's
right,
what really hit
let's
me.
get to work. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do Avinu. Yes.
You want me to put, what do you want me to put up?
Okay,
What do you
we're
want me to
gonna do Avinu Malkeinu.
Okay,
Okay, the first page that I had, not the end.
the first,
And we're gonna go to the chunk in the middle.
okay,
There's a section that says, after the leader has recited each of these lines, we repeat it. Some of it is done silently. And this part, it says that you're gonna listen to it and then you're going to repeat it. So I want you to number those lines. If you, I'll show you in a moment.
second,
Now, this is what we call an acrostic. Does anyone know what an acrostic is?
It's
Oh, that's an
Like
ashtray.
the
I'm sorry,
ashtray.
ashtray. No, that's when we get to ashtray. Okay. So, the middle part. So the part that says, yeah. No, that's the beginning. Okay.
Yeah, Hakanu.
it was very,
Okay.
yeah, I was trying to figure out where you wanted us to start, because I tried to get a clearer version, but I.
All right. We have to put it up a little bit.
Yeah, keep going, keep
Put it
going.
up. Put it up a little bit. Okay, we
keep
see the
going.
Avinu Malkeinu's
Up and down,
up.
this
Up.
is the top of the
Go
page.
down, down,
Oh, that's the
down,
second
Down.
page. So go down.
That's the
down.
second page,
I
okay.
always say it
Yes.
wrong, Carol.
Go down. Go down.
There we
All
go,
right.
there we go, we're getting there.
This
Okay,
right?
there. You see where it says right in the middle, where it says after the leader has recited each of these lines. So go up a little bit.
No, down again, down.
No, up, because it's in the middle.
Where the arc is open and all.
It's down.
It says after the leader has recited each of these
In
lines.
the middle of the page, the
Down,
middle of the
Lillian.
page.
Yeah, that's where I
Down,
was.
Lillian. Yes,
So the
keep
one that's-
going, keep
All right,
going.
keep, okay,
Keep
good,
going.
good.
There
Stay
you
right there.
go.
Perfect.
I didn't
Okay.
get this
Okay.
page.
So there's 8 lines. There's 8. from
I
that.
didn't get this
One-
page.
Everybody
It was
got
the
it.
second page on the
One,
same.
two, maybe you didn't, maybe you had to just keep going arrow, to the second
Yeah.
page of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you would just number those on the paper, if you have the paper,
Okay.
where the first one starts, they all start with Avinu Malkeinu. And then the next word is different on the first 3. And all the rest, the other 5 start with Avinu Malkeinu Kadvenu, inscribe us.
Starts
So
where the
the-
little arrow is.
It starts with the arrow, Avinu Malkeinu, Hachazirenu, Bitshuva, Shalema, Lifanecha. Now, the word lifnei means in front of, before. So Lifanecha means before you, facing God, in front of you, in front of your face. So as we said, Avinu Malkeinu, our Father, our King, Achazirenu, return us, Bitshuva. So Teshuvah is one of the main ideas of the high holidays. It's Teshuvah, Tzedakah, and Tefillah, the 3 main columns that the rabbis talk about. Teshuvah is return from Shuv. Tefillah is prayer, so return by means of prayer and asking for forgiveness. And then you have Tefillah, prayer, and Tzedakah. And Tzedakah is righteousness and acts of kindness. And it could be interpreted also as money, because they always make a pitch on the high holidays for money. This is their big pitch. So those are the first words that I gave you were Teshuvah Shlema, and that's important. The word Teshuvah, you will hear that a lot in the prayers, and Shalem, Shlema means fullness. I know Shalom sounds like it, but Shlema means complete, full. So the expression Teshuvah Shlema means complete repentance. Okay, so we make an effort from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur in the 10 days of repentance to wipe the slate clean with Teshuvah, asking for forgiveness, tzedakah, acts of righteousness, and tefillah, prayer. So those are the three big concepts. Okay, so why don't we now on the high holidays, this is the melody that we sing in my synagogue. It goes like this. It's very haunting. It goes, Avinu Malkeinu. Well, we don't sing it for these. That's at the end.
Right.
So I'll sing it at the end. But this, you just say it. Okay, you don't sing this. When the rabbi says it, you say it after him. So I'll say the whole line, and then I want you all to say it after me. Avinu Malkeinu, Hachazirenu Bitshuva Shlema Lefanecha. Okay, you guys try it. Go.
Avinu
Malkeinu,
Hachazirenu
Bitshuva
Shlema Lefanecha. All right, Faye, will you read that?
Avinu Malkeinu, Hazacherenu,
Hachazirenu. Take it slowly.
Hachazirenu,
Perfect.
Bi Teshuvah, Shalama Lefanecha,
Shlema.
Shalema Lefanecha.
Good. Charlene? Yeah.
Excuse me,
Bitshuva.
I find it's easier without having the thing following the words because it's bouncing around.
Okay, all right, well, just keep your place
Does
by
anyone
yourself.
feel that way?
Okay, Charlene, will you read that line?
Avinu Malkeinu Hahazeranu.
Reinu, Hachazirenu, the two dots are A. Mhm.
Yeah, these. Okay. Somebody's speaking.
Yeah,
Not me.
Bitshuva.
Bitshuva, Bitshuva,
Shlama.
Shlema. The two
Lefanecha.
dots, Charlene, the two dots
It's
next to
the
each
A,
other. Yeah, Shlema,
Shalema
good,
Lefanecha.
very good. Okay, Robin?
Avinu Malkeinu, Hachazirenu, Bitshuva Shlema Lefanecha.
Very nice. Okay, Marcia, want to try it? No? Okay.
Marcia sent an email that she's having problems with her eyes, so she's just gonna listen today.
Okay, fine.
That's all I
Helene
need.
Herman,
That's me,
Sylvia?
Alvino Malkeno, Hazirenu. Beach, yeah. Beach, I'm having problems with my eyes too.
Okay, the dot in the middle is ooh,
Yeah.
like I punched you in the stomach. Ooh.
Bichuva,
Mhm.
Shalema, Lefanecha.
Good. I'm
Is
gonna
there
read
a
it
way to
again.
make it, is there a way to make it a little larger?
Yes.
Just pinch your screen out.
There we go. No, it doesn't work. It's yours.
I did it. I made it bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So
That
I'm
may
gonna
help
say it.
everyone's eyes.
I'm gonna help.
It's helping mine because I was looking and going, I can't see this.
Yeah. All right. So you see that these lines are all dark. I'm gonna read it for the last time, then I'm going to go on to the next line, number 2. Avinu Malkeinu, Hachazirenu, Bitshuva, Shalema, Lefanecha. Okay, the next line says, Avinu Malkeinu, our Father, our King, Shalach, that means send. And this is very important, what you were talking about. Rifuah means healing. Rifuah, Shlema, complete healing. Health is what we were talking about from COVID. L'cholei amecha. When you say ani chola, it means I'm sick. L'cholei means the sick people of your country. L'cholei amecha. Like Am Yisrael. So it's our Father, our King. Send complete healing to those sick people in your nation. That's really, so this is not just a, which is interesting. It is not just an I, thou kind of thing. you're now talking about the congregation, the Jewish people worldwide, including Israel. Our Father, it doesn't say my Father, my King, which is interesting because all the prayers, a lot of them on the high holidays are said in the plural, like we have sinned, we have gone astray, we have lusted, whatever. So we are doing this collectively, which is a really very powerful thing. Send complete healing to those who are ill in your nation. All right, so we're not just being selfish about our own health. We're talking about our family, our friends, our country, other countries, like United States is sending COVID vaccine to India. This is a collective deal that we're in this world. And I think that's very important. Okay, repeat after me. Avinu Malkeinu.
Malkeinu.
Shalach. Refuah.
Shlema.
Well, I'll say a word and then say it after me. Let's start from Shalach. Shalach. Refuah. Shlema. Lechole. Amecha. So here we see again, and we're going to see in Ashrei the Cha on the end. Your nation, Amecha, Lifanecha, before you. Okay. So let's go to the next one. All right. The third one is Avinu Malkeinu again, and with an exclamation point. Now I've always said Zochreinu, not Zachrenu. I've always heard Zochreinu in shul. So I'll say it here. Zochreinu. You can repeat after me. Zochreinu. Bezikaron. Tov. Lefanecha. So our Father, our King. Zachrenu. Zachor is something we always talked about, like with the Holocaust. Zachor, remember. Zachrenu, remember us. Have remembrance of us. Bezikaron, in the remembrance of Tov, of good. Bezikaron, for good. Remember us for good remembrance before you. We want to be remembered for good. We want God to think well of us, okay? So Zachrenu Bezikaron Tov, with a good thought, with a good remembrance before you. Okay, so let me see. All right, Robin, you want to say that line?
Which line?
The
Third one? Avinu Malkeinu, Zachrenu.
I would say Zachrenu. That's the way I've always heard it.
Zachrenu.
Now, you see the kamatz? You see it's longer? Under the Zion, you see that vowel? It's a little longer. That means it's aw sound.
Zachrenu.
Zachrenu.
Zikaron Tov Lefanecha.
Very good. Hannah, you want to try that?
Avinu Malkeinu.
Zachrenu.
Yeah, whatever. They won't know. Bezikaron Tov. Bezikaron Tov Lefanecha.
Okay, Elaine?
Avinu Malkeinu, Zachrenu, Bezikaron Tov Lafanecha.
Very good. Ella?
Avinu Malkeinu, Zacharon.
Look at it again. Zachrenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Zachrenu, Bezikaron, Tov, Lefanecha.
Good. When you write Mazal Tov, like on a card, it's with a tet, like that. So I'm going to say it again. So listen. Avinu Malkeinu, Zachrenu, Bezikaron Tov Lefanecha. Okay, let's go on to the fourth line. So listen. Avinu Malkeinu. Now comes with the inscribe us. Lichtov in Hebrew, the verb means to write. So the command katvenu means write us or inscribe us. So it says Avinu Malkeinu katvenu b'sefer chayim tovim. So this is a really big line here, right? Because it says, our Father, our King, write us, inscribe us in the book of life, in the book of good life. Some translations are in the book of meritorious life. So we want to be inscribed in that book for a good year, all good things. Avinu Malkeinu katvenu. Now, I noticed that it says kotvenu. I never noticed that before. Kotvenu. See that vowel under the kaf? Kotvenu b'sefer chayim tovim. Okay. Sivia, read the line.
Okay, so that's kot, not kot.
Kot. Yeah, I never realized that. Kot.
Avinu Malkeinu, kotvenu besever. You said
Sefer.
Yeah,
there.
That's a book.
the Sefer Torah.
Chaim tovim.
Good. Okay, Chana, read the line.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kotvenu, Sefer Chaim Tovim.
Right, very good. So that's the big book. Okay,
What-
Chaim,
Sefer
the
is
book of
big
life.
book.
So
Okay,
the word for school is a Beit Sefer, a house of the book. Isn't that interesting? A school is a Beit Sefer. And a Sefer is a book.
And
Sfarim are
Sefer,
books.
the Sefer Torah, what is?
Sefer Torah. There's a joke in our synagogue. They put the Torah, why do they put the Torah in the ark? Because they want a Sefer Torah.
That's very cute.
They always say that. All right. So now we're getting to more specifics. So the next line says, Avinu Malkeinu Kodvenu, the Sefer, another book, Geula v'Yeshua. Okay, and I gave you those words.
Joshua's book.
Geula and Yeshua are synonyms. And it means redemption and salvation, basically the same thing. We want to be redeemed. We want to be forgiven for any misdeeds. And a lot of the prayers are directed at that, right? I did this, this, and this. Please, salach li. Salach lani.
Yeshua is not Joshua? Or
Yes, it also
Redeemer?
means same root. It also means
Redeemer.
redemption, redeemer.
Ah,
Mhm,
okay.
Joshua and redeemer.
Carol, can you say that last word again in the sentence?
Yeah. The Yeshua. But when you say it quickly, you would say Avinu Malkeinu Kodvenu B'Sefer Geula V'Shua. They wouldn't stop and say the Yeshua. They would just say V'Shua.
Yeshua.
Okay, because you're saying it quickly after, because if you don't say it fast enough, then he's ready with the next line. Okay, so you want to be, this is to be forgiven. The line before says, write us in the book. And now, I guess to be written in the book, here's what you have to do. You have to be redeemed. Next line.
up to
Avinu
line,
Mal,
that's line
excuse me?
6, right? We're up to line 6.
yeah, right there. Avinu Malkeinu, Kodvenu b'Sefer Parnasa v'Chalkala. This is interesting. Okay, so our Father, our King, write us, Kodvenu, b'Sefer, in the book of Parnasa is the word for somebody's livelihood, how they make their living, Parnasa. And in Yiddish, it's Parnusa, the same word, Parnusa and Parnasa. So you find when you study Yiddish that a lot of the words, not all, but a lot do come straight from Hebrew. Yiddish has a lot of Hebrew derivatives. Like I said once before, a balabusta is really ba'alat habayit, the mistress of the house. And it has come to mean a good housekeeper, somebody who,
Panim, Mishpacha,
yeah, mishpocha, there's a lot. Okay,
Panim, yeah.
okay, like what a ziz, I look at my dog and I say, "Why, what a ziz punim."
These are Panim.
Okay, ziz punim. Okay, so we are, all right, so repeat after me. Avinu Malkeinu,
Avinu
Malkeinu,
Kotvenu,
Kotvenu,
the Sefer,
the
Sefer,
Sefer,
Parnasa,
Parnasa,
the Chalkala.
the
Chalkala,
So remember the chaf without a dot is a ch, and then you have a chal, and then the chaf with a dot is k. So the word is v'chal kala. And actually that word, when a government talks about chal kala, it actually means economy. So you're asking to make a good livelihood. And there's nothing wrong with that. You want to make a good living for your family. So it says, write us in the book of life, for our livelihood and economy. In other words, so that we do well in business and in our jobs, and we make money. We can sustain ourselves. So maintenance. One of the translations for parnasa was maintenance, but it really means parnasa. It means your livelihood, your job, that you should have a job and you should make money. It's straight out there. Okay, the next one is Avinu Malkeinu. This is line 7. Kotvenu, b'sefer zichuyot. And that means merit, like meritorious deeds, like tzedakah. B'sefer zichuyot, for the book of merit. And I interpret that as that good deeds. Write us in for good deeds, that good deeds will happen to us and we will do good deeds. We want to be righteous in the book of righteousness. In other words, our good acting. We want to be good acting. Okay. Chana Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Okay, Faye, I'd like you to try that last one with Zichuyot, line 7.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kotvenu B'Sefer Zechuyot.
Very good. Okay. How about okay. Charlene, you do it.
Avinu Malkeinu, B'Sefer.
Well, what's the word before that?
Oh.
Inscribe us.
I'm sorry, I skipped one. Avinu Malkeinu.
Kotvenu.
Kodvenu, B'Sefer Zikarot.
Zechuyot. Because there's a word, Charlene, that sounds like that, which is Zikaron. Yom HaZikaron is the day of remembrance in Israel,
Right.
but Zechuyot is merit. So Zikaron is different. That's remembrance. And this means merit, meritorious life. Okay, we want to have a life that's meritorious, that's full of good deeds, like I was saying. All right, and now the last line is Avinu Malkeinu, Kotvenu B'Sefer, Slicha U'Mechila. And that means our Father, our King, write us in the book of forgiveness and pardon. And that's what I was saying, that when I was thinking about the high holidays, I'm thinking like anything that I did wrong, I really do want to say that I'm sorry and I want to be forgiven. And I want to feel like I get that off my conscience. So, Ella, you want to try that last line?
Avinu Malkeinu, Kotvenu, V'Sefer,
The
Sefer, Slicha.
Good, good.
Umchiyot.
Umchila.
What?
Umchila.
Umchila.
So those are synonyms. Slicha and mechila. It means, slicha. If you bump into somebody and you're in the crowded a crowded bus in Israel, you say, as you elbow your way past, slicha. And when we do that prayer, unatane tokef, when we take our hand and we beat our chest, those are, prayers of slichot. And the Shabbat, Friday, the Saturday night before Rosh Hashanah, is a slichot service, and the slicha means, excuse me, pardon. And so the slichot means pardons. That's a service. When we start asking God, that we start doing this Avinu Malkeinu, when we start asking with this prayer for forgiveness. It's before Rosh Hashanah. It starts on the slichot service. Okay, now I want to run through that again. I'm going to say it. I want everyone to repeat after me. So we'll take it slowly. We'll do the 8 lines, and then we'll get to the end of the prayer. Okay, so here we go. When I stop, that's when you go. Avinu Malkeinu is from the beginning. Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu
Malkeinu.
Achazirenu.
Achazirenu.
B'tshuva.
B'tshuva.
Shlema.
Shlema.
Lefanecha.
Lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu.
Shalach.
Shalach.
Rifuah.
Refuah.
Shlema.
Shlema.
Lecholei.
Lecholei.
Amecha.
Amecha.
Good. Tov. Third line. Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu.
Zochrenu.
Zochrenu.
B'zikaron.
Zikaron.
Tov.
Tov.
Lefanecha.
Lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu.
Kotvenu.
Kotvenu.
B'sefer.
B'sefer.
Chaim.
Chaim.
Tovim.
Tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu.
Kotvenu.
Kotvenu.
B'sefer.
B'sefer.
Geula.
Geula.
Vishua.
Vishua.
Okay. Now this sixth line. Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu.
Kotvenu.
Kotvenu.
B'sefer.
B'sefer.
Parnasa.
Parnasa.
B'chalkala.
B'chalkala.
Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu.
Kotvenu.
Kotvenu.
B'sefer.
B'sefer.
Zechuyot.
Zechuyot.
Last line. Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu.
Kotvenu.
Kotvenu.
B'sefer.
B'sefer.
Slicha.
Slicha.
Umchila.
Umchila.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question. You can just shout this out. There's a lot of words that repeat. Can you tell me? All right, just say your name and tell me any word that you see that repeats. Okay, Robin, do you see any word that repeats? Yeah, very good. Sivia, what's another word that repeats?
B'sefer.
Okay, in the book. All right, Charlene, do you see a word that repeats?
Yes, Kotvenu.
Excellent. Kotvenu, write us, right? Good. Are there any others, Faye?
Lefanecha.
Right, before you. We're standing before you in your presence. Okay, you're the king, right? And we're humble nobodies. We're just a little pot of flesh, and we're in front of the big one. Okay, so we are very humble when we say these, it's our father or a king. How would you speak to your father? With respect, with love, right? With deference. And how definitely would you appear before a king? You would get dressed and you would be on your best behavior. So here we are, and we're in shul, and this is like the reckoning. You better be good. Now, when we get to these 8 lines, I'm betting that you guys are going to be great. Okay, Sivia, let's go to the second page.
You want the
So
second?
that we get to the end of the prayer.
Okay, this is the second page, which you had first, okay? Scans.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that right?
So the end, very good, excellent. The last two lines, again, and it's interesting that it has an exclamation point. I don't know if all the prayer books have the exclamation point, but they want to make sure that you say this with your whole heart, with a full heart, with a Lev Shalem, which means a full heart, by the way, the name of the prayer book, Lev Shalem. Okay, so we sing, everybody sing. When we sing this on Slichot at night, this is where I feel it. This is where I feel that the holidays are starting right here. And it goes, and it chokes me up. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Va'anenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Va'anenu, Ki Ein Banu Masim. Aseh Imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu tzedaka v'chesed v'hoshienu. You can just hear from the melody, it's very mournful and it's very serious because this is a 10-day period, which is very, even though Rosh Hashanah is, happy in the family and the good foods, it is a very serious time of the year for Jewish people. This is our new year, not January 1st. This is it. And this is the time when we have to reflect. And it's built into our religion and into our holidays, a time of reflection. And before you go on, where you've been and where you're going and what you want and what you did. And I think, I personally think that is part of our longevity as a people, that we take stock of ourselves and our community, our family, and it's like, okay, halt, let's see where we've been and what has happened. And we give thanks and when we pray for a better year, a good year. It's amazing. Okay, so let's try this. So there's the same thing, Avinu. I'll repeat the words and then we'll try to sing. Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu
Malkeinu.
Chonenu.
Malkeinu.
That means have mercy. Va'anenu.
Avinu.
Anenu means answer us, have mercy and answer us. Now we're asking for some action here. We want God to hear us. Ki. And ki means because. Ein Banu Ma'asim. Okay, Ma'asim are deeds. There are no deeds. It's hard to translate. Chanenu vanenu. Let's like maybe we don't have any good deeds on our account yet. The bill starts now. Ki ein banu ma'asim. And then the last one says aseh imanu tzedaka v'chesed v'hoshienu. And there's that root that you identified from Yehoshua. My son's name is Joshua, Yehoshua. And Hoshienu means save us. So it's aseh is make or do, imanu for us, tzedakah. And the translation that I read that was good, it says deal with us, with tzedakah, with charity, with righteousness, v'chesed, and compassion, v'choshienu, and save us. It's like save us from ourselves, from what we might do wrong. Okay, keep us on the straight path, not straying. Say imanu tzedakah, have charity for us and compassion and redeem us. It's a big ask. So is anyone familiar with the melody that I sang?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's try to do that very slowly. Let's try to keep together. Ready? Achat, shtayim, shalosh. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Va'anenu, repeats. Avinu Malkeinu Orneinu Va'anenu Ki Em Banu Masim. Next line. Aseh Imanu Tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh Imanu Tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu. Interesting that the last line of the whole prayer says, and save us. You know, after all the requests, write us in the book of this, write us in the book of that. The last line is, in case you didn't get it, save us, redeem us. And that is actually the theme of the whole thing. You know, write us in for this and good health and this, but mainly redeem us or forgive, have mercy, forgive. So there's only a couple of minutes. Any questions on that? And you can find this online probably.
I was trying to match it, Carol, to get it with larger print. However, you had page 90 in your scan, you had page 93 followed by page 92. And I didn't realize it. So I said, nothing's matching. It's because I was starting at the end, not at the beginning. The only thing
Okay.
I wanted to say something what you talked about, the longevity of our people. I think part of it is that we take responsibility too. It's not just up to Hashem. We're taking responsibility to do mitzvot. We're taking responsibility to do tzedakah. It's not just, you know, some God in the sky who's going to make things happen magically. We have responsibility.
Yeah, and here's and just a quick addendum on that. That Maimonides, there's a famous quote like, "Wake up, you slumberers." And you know, at the beginning, there's prayers from Moses Maimonides that this is a time. Now, the September, the weather gets fresher, and maybe our head gets clearer. It's not so hazy, you know, summer laziness. That it says, "Wake up." He says, "Wake up, you slumberers," and the horn, the shofar, and all the things that we're doing are making us like take stock. So this is a time, like just what you said, take responsibility. If you didn't, it's a time to change. It's a time of changing bad behaviors and going forward with like a feeling of, okay, renewal.
And what's interesting, I'm sorry, Carol, I just want to circle back because we are, you know, some of us are in Southern Florida and we've been glued to the news.
Yeah.
About what's going on. And the area that was impacted is a very Jewish area. There are 5 shuls within walking distance.
Wow, I read that was a,
and there have been rabbis on local television all morning explaining about why they're there, explaining about what it is to be a Jew and to help your fellow man, whether they are Christian or Jews, doesn't make a difference. And I think it, you know, bad things happen, and this man was on there explaining about our faith and why we take responsibility and why we're there, you know, feeding people, taking care of everybody, the first responders, etc. And you have tremendous amount of a Jewish community in Southern Florida that are involved in the rescue operations and the support operations, but it really reflects what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the living the prayer. It's like Abraham Joshua Heschel said, "I prayed with my feet." You know, when he was down in Alabama, in Selma, Alabama, marching with Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and people who were marching for civil rights. So yeah, it's your actions. It's always been a religion of action, and that's the whole thing about mitzvot, the mitzvah system. Okay. I just want to give you an introduction with Ashrei. Ashrei is an acrostic. That means after the introduction, each line begins with a letter of the alphabet, and it goes in order. So you have Aleph, Bet, Aromimcha, Bechol, Gadol, Dor, Hadar, Ve'ezuz, Zecher. I would say don't get scared by this prayer. I would say take 2 lines at a time. There's 2 different melodies. I'll just introduce them quickly. One is on Shabbat, and it goes like this. Well, Ashrei Yoshvei Betecha, Od Yahalalucha Sela, Ashrei Ha'am Shekacha Lo, Ashrei Ha'am She'adonai Elohav, Tehillah LeDavid. And then that's the introduction. It's a psalm. I think it's Psalm 145. And then there's a lot of cha on the end, which means your. And the first line is Aromimcha Elohai HaMelech, Va'avarcha Shimcha Leolam Ba'ed. Okay, so Arom, I will put you on high, Elohai, my God. Oh, I have a translation, so I don't have to do it. Here, the Aleph line says, I will extol you, O God, my King, and I will bless your name forever and ever. So Aromimcha is, I will put you on high. Elohai is from Elohim, my God. Hamelach, God, my King. Va'avarcha, you see the Baruch in the middle, that's the Shoresh, the Bet, the Resh, and the Chaf. Most of the time we see it as a final Chaf in Baruch, but Avarcha, I will bless, Shimcha, your name, Leolam Va'ed, forever and ever. The second line is Bechol Yom Avarcheka, and it is a Chaf, but it has a vowel in it and a dot, and you have to pronounce that Ka, Avarcheka, Va'ahalala Shimcha Leolam Va'ed. So a lot of that is repetition. Every day, Bechol Yom, every day, Avarcheka. Where am I? Yeah, Bechol Yom Avarcheka, I will bless you from Baruch. Va'ahalala, and I will praise from Hallelujah, Shimcha, your name, Leolam Va'ed, forever and ever. Now, question I have, did anybody notice there is one letter that's missing in the acrostic? One letter the writer left out. Did anybody
None.
notice it? None. Who
None.
said that? Who said
Marcia.
that?
Marcia.
Okay, do you know why?
No.
Okay, I looked it up. The nun is left out, and this is interesting because it starts the word nafal. The word nafal means it fell, and it said it would remind people of the fall of the 2 temples in Jerusalem, 586 BCE to the Babylonians and 70 CE, Common Era, to the Romans, and the exile of the Jewish people. So this is all praising God, and they didn't want to stick in the middle something with a nun, which is like, hey, how come we were exiled? Where were you? Or like in the Holocaust, like, where were you? Like, so this is all praising God, and it doesn't want to come to the nun and say, okay, the temples fell. You want to explain that? So that's no nun, no nonsense. So let's just try it. And I know it's 2 o'clock. Go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, after the 2 words Tehillah David. This is the actual beginning of the prayer. Is anyone familiar with that melody? Ashrei Yoshvei Betecha,
Yes.
da, 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 da. Okay. There's another one. Ashrei Yoshvei Betecha, Od Yehalelucha Sela. Like that. So there's 2 melodies. Actually, the first one that I did is the daily one. That's more of like a
That's the
conversation.
one I'm familiar with.
And the other one, Ashrei Yoshvei Betecha, Od Yehalelucha Sela, Ashrei Ha'am Shekacha Lo, Ashrei Ha'am Shadonai Elohav, Aromimcha Elohai HaMelech, Va'avarcha Shimcha Leolam Va'ed, Bechol Yom Avarcheka Va'ahalala Shimcha Leolam Va'ed. That's the one that the Shabbat melody. That's more of the melody. So you probably can find that someplace. I didn't look for it online. But let's just say, read the 2 lines, read them after me, okay? From Aromimcha. Okay. Aromimcha,
Aromimcha,
Elohai,
Elohai,
HaMelech,
Hamelech,
Va'avarcha,
Va'avar.
Shimcha,
Simcha.
Shimcha, Shem is
Simcha.
Shimcha, Le'olam Va'ed,
Le'olam va'ed.
B'chol Yom,
B'chol yom
Avar Heka,
avar echa.
Va'ahalila,
Hallelujah.
Shimcha,
Simcha
Le'olam
lam
Va'ed.
va'ed.
Okay, I'll just do 2 more lines and then you should study those 4 lines. Gadol Adonai,
Gadol
Adonai.
Umhulal,
Kula
Me'od,
meod
Ligdulato,
Beligulato
Lato.
Ein Cheker,
and
Cheker.
Take care.
Okay. Dor Lidor,
door ledor
that means from generation to generation. Yishabach,
Yishabach
Ma'asecha,
Ma'asecha
Secha.
Ugivurotecha,
Uverotecha
Secha.
Yagidu.
Yagidu.
Yidu.
Now you see those straight lines, those vertical lines, those are accents. So on the word Yagidu, it's not Yagidu, it's Yagidu, and on Cheker. So that gives you the accent. That's the accented syllable. It is not a vowel. It's nothing new. It's just an accent. Okay, so when you see that, that's where you put the stress. So like when I have a big Torah reading tomorrow, when I look in the Tikkun, I see those lines, I know that that's where the stress is in the word. Okay, so I would say, and we'll review, go over those first 4 lines from Aromimcha, B'chol Yom, Gadol, Dor Lador, and Hadar. So it's Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet. The first 4 lines. And here, the 3rd line says, great is Adonai and highly to be praised. And here's the second part. God's greatness is beyond our understanding. It's the same idea to repeat it. And the last one, the Dalet line, one generation lauds your deeds to another. In the second part, and tells of your mighty acts. So your deeds and your mighty acts. So that's the second part. It just reiterates the first part of the line. Okay? So be good.
So
And
I
we'll
just
go
want
on with, we'll do a little bit of this each time, but I am going to go on with high holiday prayers for Rosh Hashanah. And then Yom Kippur, and then at the end, I'll put in requests.
So Carol, for next Friday, just letting you know, on Thursday, I'm working in the temple office. I'm being a substitute admin for the rabbi while his admin's on vacation on Thursday and Friday, half day. And then on Thursday night, thanks to Jody Jacqueline, who got us to do this, I'm doing a very large program on an incredible book called, a movie from a book called The Tattooed Torah. So
Oh,
yeah, if anybody is in, it's an incredible program. And I did a run through with the creative team yesterday. It's going to be sensational. So if anybody's interested, I'll send you the link. But Thursday night, I'm going to be pretty booked. So if you can
okay.
get it out as early as possible, that would be
I
helpful.
will. I'll get it out early. So we have the Ashrei already done, and I'll feature another important prayer
Okay.
from Rosh Hashanah. Okay, and I'll get it out early because it's easier now somehow.
Carol,
Okay.
are we meeting next Friday or not?
Oh, wait a minute. Next Friday, no. Next Friday is
Oh, we're not meeting next Friday. It's the weekend.
right.
It's,
So we got plenty of time. Yeah.
Okay.
Next Friday, we said we would not meet because it is 4th of July weekend, and I was anticipating a lot of people will be having company and doing things, and or preparing for company, whatever. So no, we won't. I would like the link to that, Helene.
I'm sorry, what?
I would like the link to your program.
I'll send out to the class because this is thanks to Jody. The producer is her cousin, and she had it.
Oh,
And she had a program on intercontinental region conference, and I said this was incredible. Susan Winter and I attended, and she sent me the link, and our VP of programming reached out, and immediately they answered. And I was on a conference Zoom yesterday with the creative team planning how it's going to be, and it's breathtaking. It really is. The door.
So is the link,
Helene, this is next Wednesday, correct? Next Wednesday?
Yeah, next Wednesday night.
so
And I-
Robin, what's the theme of the program?
It's the Tattoo Torah, and we're going to be introducing the creative team. We're going to be showing the 21-minute animated film, which is suitable for children as young as 5, gently introducing the Holocaust.
Ah,
And we have the creative team, including the woman, Marvel Ginsburg wrote the book in 1994. Well, her daughter is the executive producer, and the daughter is going to be there. The grandson, who was just ordained as a rabbi a few weeks ago,
wow.
he was part of it. We have just incredible animators.
Is this a book for children or for adults?
It's a book for children, but I'm going to tell you, bring tissues. I just wept at the end, and it's not really sad. It's about redemption, and just a beautiful thing. It was a children's book.
Now, Helene, what are you doing in this?
I'm basically, I'm going to be, it's on my Zoom program, and I'm going to be leading the panel discussion.
Yeah, the Tattooed Torah. Okay.
Oh, I'll send
Wow.
everybody the link. It's just, I'm so pleased, and I talked to the creative team, and what we did is, opposed to limiting it to sisterhood or even our synagogue, I have people from Women's League who are involved. I have synagogues in other parts of the country. They're educational people. What's interesting is this film and the educational program that's tied to it has introduced the topic of the Holocaust to thousands of non-Jewish children. It's not just children.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Please,
Helene,
send the link to all of us, Helene.
Can we share this? Or is this just limited
I would
to?
like, if you share it carefully with people who are involved in education or who have children. And we, of course, are asking for donations, right, Robin? Always.
It's very important that there is no charge for this event, but of course, we're asking for donations.
I'll send you
Yes.
the information. We ask for donations. It's just a Ed Asner did the narration.
Oh, wow. I haven't heard his
Very
name in a long
involved,
time.
and he won't be able to be there. He's getting on. He really is.
Yeah.
But the creative team talks about how his involvement with it. It's just an incredible story. The book was incredible. The illustrations are wonderful. It's a 21-minute film. It won a lot of awards.
I'm going to definitely watch this.
up
This
for an
sounds good.
Oscar. It didn't win, but it was up for an Oscar this year.
Helene, when we see the program, if we want to have our grandchildren see the program, can we access it at a later date ourselves?
You will be able to access the we're going to be posting the links to it's on the Holocaust Memorial is sponsoring it, and you'll learn about that. But
When is this next Wednesday?
next Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Okay.
and we'll be posting links for teachers who want to get involved and to get to the movie. So I really think it's just an incredible. Thank Jody.
Wow. Thank you.
But it's
What age children is it directed at?
up. Children of all ages, as young as 5. And it's
Thank
a
you.
beautiful story. Again, it's not scary, and my grandchildren have seen it, but it does introduce the Holocaust in a gentle and accessible way. And one of the things that when I share the site, actually, if you go to, it's called tattootorah.com. When you go onto the site, they have programs for teachers and guided programs to help the teachers introduce this to their classes.
Wow, that's
So,
amazing.
And I think listen.
I need to go, but I just want to tell you, I will be out of town July 9th.
Okay.
All right,
Going to
but-
Vegas.
Oh, well, I wish you a lot of luck.
Actually, to celebrate my great-granddaughter's 3rd birthday.
Very nice, very nice. And if
Mazel
you happen to
tov.
put a random quarter in a machine, it wouldn't be bad.
I'm sure that will happen.
All right, so v'chatzlacha, which means good luck.
Thank you.
All right, there's a
Okay,
book that
thank
I
you,
wanted to
everyone.
recommend to everybody,
Okay.
September's in Shiraz, about Iranian Jews, and I just started reading it, and it's amazing. It's by Dalia Sofer, Sofer, and it's just a beautiful book. I've read like 50 pages, but it's her first book. It is beautiful, beautiful. So I will recommend that to you. I'll send that out. Okay, ladies, Shabbat Shalom. Wish me
Shabbat
luck on my
shalom.
Torah reading tomorrow.
Okay, good luck.
Okay.
All right.
You'll do
Big one.
fine, Tara.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Good to
Thank
see you.
you.
Bye-bye, Shabbat
Okay.
Shabbat
Shalom.
shalom.
Shabbat.